Hi, my name's Elloit Masie, and this is a very different Learning Trends. Today's July 2nd, and as you can tell, I'm holding, well, my new iPhone. I didn't wait all night at an Apple store or at an AT&T store. In fact, my staff went down this morning and there was no wait online. The purpose of this very short video Learning Trends is not a review of the iPhone, but to start a conversation, very appropriate as the total media hype about the iPhone is reaching a pitch frenzy, of what are the implications of devices such as this for the world of learning, the world of knowledge, the world of mobile device-based collaboration and sharing. Well, just literally in the last couple of hours, and then in dialogue with a number of our colleagues all around the world, we've started to take an in-depth look at the Masie Center Learning Labs around how might the iPhone actually become part of an architecture for mobile-based learning. And if it's not the iPhone, it could be another device. As you know, we're fiercely vendor neutral here. So what we thought we would do is just take you on a very quick first impression of the iPhone. And Chris is holding a high-def camera here, and so we'll just talk about a couple of the features. Now, you can go online and go on TV and see lots of elements of it, but let me tell you the things that I get immediately intrigued about. One of the things, and they've got this listed under a YouTube functionality, but one of the things that I'm really intrigued about is how could we use video that would be instructional or knowledge-based. So for an example, one of the ones that I've loaded up here, and it's very appropriate for me given that I've got a real interest in horses, here's a very high fidelity video of a horse running through the forest. But what's interesting is we take a look at what other kinds of high definition instructional videos could we create that are either preloaded or in this case are available versus a Wi-Fi connection. Some of the other elements that we have found interesting, and I've got to tell you as a 57-year-old who is got fatter fingers, one of the things that was interesting for me was to take a look at the browser that's there, because my first reaction was, why would I ever want to read something that small? But there's a really cool feature about it. I'm literally going to our Learning 2007 website, and if I move it to the side, literally what starts to happen is it moves with it. And I can then, by using my fingers either together or closed, I can move that and be able to really have a higher level of control over what the visualization would be. There are other features that we are starting to explore. For instance, what would the role of collaboration be? Could I use this as a way of selectively being pinged, whether it be through a sort of text message or eventually instant messenger model, by other people in a community of practice? Can I use it as context-based? For example, what are some of the features that I might decide to use with the camera? So I literally could be able to go out and take a picture of something. What's really interesting is to be thinking about using some web-based image or even barcode recognition, that if I took a picture of a key part in a factory or a key element in a retail environment, it would then immediately launch the appropriate instructional videos. We believe that there's a lot of work ahead of looking at how mobile devices can be used in learning. We're going to have a whole segment at our Learning 2007 area. Now, what are some limitations about this? Certainly some of the things that we found, it doesn't natively at this point play flash video. We found it certainly was kind of interesting to type, and I'm going to have to see what my agility becomes over time. And I'm sure that this, as well as other devices, are going to get better and better. We are intrigued not as the latest, coolest, best gizmo, but rather if we take a look at how learning is changing. How do we use devices like the iPod, for instance, to ask ourselves the question? I think my logon flash paper there is interesting. If you see that Earth, how do we use in a flatter world technology such as this in order to allow us to learn faster, to learn more collaboratively, to put knowledge at our fingertips. And we'll be exploring this with you. Please send me any of your initial reactions, and we'll be feeding you ongoing results of our experiments here at the Masie Center. In the meantime, I'm going to go back down, continue my experiments. Have a great day, and for those of you in the United States, have a very safe July 4th.